Their Majesties request before them Albreda Aylese to answer the question they asked her at Pantaria.
For you, Albreda Aylese, Lady of the Court of the East, Order of the Manch, Order of the Silver Crescent, Order of the Rowan, Arts and Sciences Champion of the Barony of Carolingia, founder of the Arts and Sciences 50 Challenge, Royal Forester, member of Athena's Thimble, and Pied Piper and Pinata Provider of Pantaria.
I see the sound of
Everybody's dressed alike. Just love them.
Thanks, Mom.
Feel free. We got a chair.
Do you need a chair?
Nope. That's cool. Yeah, we'll do this. Hey. So I know it feels like a lifetime ago. We got to give you some warning about this. We've had the summer, we've had summer things, but I think you need to listen to a few more people. A little bit more advice before we'll take your lead. Is there a member of the Order of the Chivalry who will speak for this candidate?
I, Stephen Grandchamp, would accept that honor. The peerages have common virtues. Grace and perseverance in the face of adversity is one that I particularly admire. Albreda has long demonstrated that strength. She's faced many hurdles in her life and quietly overcomes them while progressing in her art and in service to society. This lady has been long my peer, and I thank you for offering her the recognition of that this time.
Is there a member of the Order of the Pelican that will speak for this candidate?
I guess that's me. I am Mistress Anastasia, and I would claim the right to speak for Albreda. A few months ago, I asked Albreda why her arms are a frog with wings. And she said to me, because when I began in the SCA, I wanted to do the impossible. And I would submit to your majesties that Albreda's service to the society is teaching us all that we are able to do impossible things. That there is no dream too big. There is no goal too lofty. There is no idea too absurd that it cannot be achieved. In my morning devotional this morning, I was spending some time with the words of a man named Fred Rogers. And Mr. Rogers told me this morning that we can do whatever we believe we can do. And I realize that Albreda has been telling me that as long as I have known her. That we can all do, every one of us, anything that we believe we can do.
Is there a Master of Defense that will speak for this candidate?
I am Thomas of Effingham, Her Majesty's Master of Defense, and I would love to do this. So, typically the Masters of Defense get to speak to the virtue of perseverance. And that is such a low-hanging fruit right now that's a little crazy. And since Stefan got to touch on that earlier, I'm going to do a little role reversal too and talk a bit about her prowess with her art. Because that is so impressive that it defies normal applications of math. Like, my wife is wearing the sash that Albreda made for her elevation to the Laurel. If you look at it and realize what is going on there with the strands that had to be put together in those orders to make it, it's disgusting.
Gorgeous.
Yes, but it is also, like, I broke my brain trying to wrap my mind around how to do that. I can barely do finger loop braid, so, like, that was extra impressive to me. And you do stuff like that so regularly that there is no question in my mind that this is where she needs to be. So, thank you.
Is there a Lady of the Rose who will speak for this candidate?
Your Majesties, I am Duchess Marieke van der Daal, and I would be honored to speak for this fine lady. First, a weaving lesson, then an analogy. Weaving involves a warp, which is threads under tension, and a weft, which the weaver passes through and among the warp threads to make a cloth. Easy enough. But there is a second type of shuttle that can be used, which is called a brocading shuttle. This shuttle carries richer, brighter threads. With a brocade shuttle, the weaver can pick out unique free-form patterns that are added as embellishments to the surface of the cloth. Here's where the analogy comes in. Albreda is the brocade shuttle. She gathers people like threads together and connects them in networks of common interest and endeavor. She makes her ideas pop out of a plain background to give them life and texture. She turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. She is a skilled weaver of cloth indeed, but she is also a weaver of our social world, connecting the gloriously diverse individuals in our society in unexpected and inspiring ways. Just as we might look at a beautiful brocaded textile in admiration, we can look at Albreda's many communal, collaborative projects and see the craftsmanship in her design and execution. She has taught us, inspired us, and woven us together. This is why she is deserving of the peerage. So say I, Your Majesties.
So, member of the Order of the Laurel that will speak for this candidate.
Your Majesties, I am Alistrina de Mann, Fiber Arts Laurel of the East, and I have the supreme honor of speaking for this lady. I've known Albreda since my first days in the society up in Coldwood. And she is as fierce with string as the Northern Army is in battle. She spins, she weaves, she embroiders, she sews. What doesn't she do? I have been blown away by your work recently. That laurel sash that you wove, holy cow. And the tapestry rondelle, she wasn't satisfied enough just to weave the rondelle in the tapestry. No, she had to do it while weaving the ground fabric. Her skill set has far surpassed that of mine. But she also teaches, and boy does she teach. She teaches anyone, anywhere, anytime, and she teaches with such a joy, a passion, a ferocity that she changes lives. And I don't say that lightly, because she changed my life. At Pensick 20, my third event, I had a ball of wool in one hand and a brand new spindle in the other, and I didn't know what I was going to do with these things. And she walked right up to me in court and said, "I can teach you that." And so here I am, because of this lady. Your Majesties, I beg you to induct her into our order, and I declare unto you, and unto your excellencies, and unto the known world, that Albreda Aylese is our peer. Thank you.
Well, that's some great work.
So, we'd ask your question of Pantaria. You sat vigil. You have heard the words here today. You have an answer for us of what they'll do in this order?
It would be my honor to take on this.
Totally right answer.
Their Majesties request into their presence the Order of the Laurel.
The carpet is for standing. And or kneeling. Thank you. Yeah, don't get grass stains on your knees. I'm not even. Is there a cloak? Oh boy. Yeah.
There's a story about the leaves, right? There's a story about each.
They did. Oh, I love it. Fuck. All right. Is there a medallion?
Yes.
It has a little legacy. This was Marieke's. She gave it to me. And it's on a Carolyn.
There is a wreath. And this is not it. She teaches us that we can do the impossible. Unfortunately, the impossible takes a little time. There is one of the 44 leaves that will be going into this wreath when it is finished. It is sterling silver. We are waiting on the garnets to come from India. And I need to do a bunch more soldering. So I'm going to need that back before you go away with it. But a laurel wreath from our garden.
Oh. Yeah?
Please do.
I am Albreda Aylese. As you've just heard, Marieke needs to get out of my brain. I am a weaver, a teacher, and a community builder. These are not as different as you might think. No matter what shiny thing first brought each of us to the SCA, the thing that keeps us coming back year after year, decade after decade, are the people. We are, you are, each warped or weft, woven into the fabric of our kingdom and our society. The color, the texture, the pattern, we are beautiful together. The problem is, our fabric has holes, and they show. Places where there was too much strain, or where we've worn out and worn through. Thing is, I'm a weaver. This is what I do. Thus my oath to you today is this. I will look for the holes and the blind spots where issues have not been adequately addressed. I will listen when you tell me about tangles, missing stairs, and where we can be more inclusive. I will use the tools available to me, my mind, my voice, my heart, and my hands, to weave us together, the fabric of the East and the society, into the stronger, even more beautiful version of ourselves that I know we can be. Do you accept my oath? We do.
Azure and Fortune.
Hear your words and know them to be true.
And to you and yours, we offer the protections that we may to all the rights, customs, and traditions of the Eastern crowns.
Until the crowns pass from our heads, our lives end, and the world ceases.
On the feast day of Saint Cuthberga, Anastasia 54, King Osir and Queen Fortune Regina were asked to consider 3 riddles which created a single question, that in so doing they might illume their kingdom of the East with their wise reflections. They saw fit then to share their wisdom with their populace. Here begin the riddles in their several parts concerning a question posed on the feast day of Saints Bede and Gregory. This weaver makes a model of the world, a mirror made of myriad crossing threads. Her shuttle beats the tempos of our time. How might we mark our favor for such skill? Exemplars light the way as seekers learn. They ease the path for those who pace behind. The brightest grant these gifts to all who need. What accolade best suits such lights as these? With art that brings our kingdom joyful fame, wise care for populace both small and great, and eastern fire that burns within her heart, shall laurel wreaths sit surely on her brow? King Osir and Queen Fortune accepted the answer of Albreda Aylese and elevated her to the Order of the Laurel in their court at Harper's retreat in the Barony of Stonemarche. Text by Mistress Albreda de Tamworth, scroll by Mistress Bronwyn Glenconwing. For Mistress Albreda Aylese, newest member of the Order of the Laurel.
¡Vivas! ¡Vivas! ¡Vivas!